Hi everyone, I'm Sarah and I'm the Deputy Manager of the Staff Support and Counselling Service. Thank you so much for choosing to spend the next 5 minutes or so with me so I can share with you some ideas that I think are really important for all of us right now around the importance of actually taking the time to care for ourselves as well as other people. So in order to do that, I'd really love to take you through a presentation, and I'm just going to bring that up on the screen now. Fabulous. So this is 5 minutes to fill up your cup. So I'm hoping that the activities that I mentioned throughout the presentation today will just be 5 short minutes that hopefully you can implement straight away. And equally, the presentation will only be 5 minutes long. So this is 5 minutes to fill up your own cup. So in our department, we have a saying that we share with all of our clients and service users, and that we live by too. This saying here, and you might have heard about it before, that you cannot pour from an empty cup. We must fill up our own cup first. So in the midst of the challenges that we're facing right now, when we might not be feeling our usual selves and our levels of anxiety might have increased, which is natural given the situation that we find ourselves in, one of the key things for us all to remember is the power of self-care. So you can see this image on the screen here says self-care is how we take our power back. It's how we ground ourselves, it's how we center ourselves, it's how we reduce anxiety and just come back to the present moment. So it's absolutely essential. So I'd love to invite you for a moment now just to think about, what does self-care mean to you? You know, this word of self-care, it's bounced around on the internet. I don't know if you're on social media, but on lots of the social media channels, we'll see the hashtag self-care and we see how much that's trending. And self-care doesn't just mean bubble baths, and it doesn't just mean candles, and it doesn't just mean fluffy things. You know, self-care is actually all of these other things here that you can see on the image on the screen. You know, it's taking care of your mind and your thoughts and being deliberate about that. It's taking care of your physical health and your body. It's taking care of your emotions, taking care of your spiritual health, and increasing your own well-being through self-care behaviours. So it's scheduling those behaviours in to look after our whole selves. When I'm working with my clients, the way that I see this, and I wonder whether this image connects with you, is this idea that there's actually 3 parts of us. So we've got our mind here at the top of the triangle, our mind, our thoughts, and our mental health. We've got the other part of us is our body and our physical health. And then we have our self here, or our spiritual health. And for me, self-care practices need to cover all 3 elements. You know, when we think about this idea of self-care, maybe you're noticing a bit of resistance when you're listening to me speak today. You know, it's not unusual to have unhelpful thoughts in our mind's eye that say things like, you know, self-care is not important, or self-care, or, you know, I haven't got time to look after myself, I haven't got time to do that. You know, and these kind of phrases that jump in and these unhelpful thoughts, you might notice them as you listen to me speak today. And if that's the case, the first thing I'd invite you to do is just offer yourself some curiosity to become aware of those thoughts. And then secondly, some compassion. You know, can you be more compassionate to yourself? And with this idea of asking yourself right now, if you were with your best friend, whoever that might be, and they were saying those same kinds of things to you, what would you tell that person? You know, and if you're in a place right now where you're listening to this video to say that out loud, I'm hoping that the message you might tell that your best friend is something similar to what's on the screen here. You know, it's okay. In actual fact, it's essential to show yourself that same kindness, that same level of understanding, that same level of compassion that you show to other people day in, day out. And I really hope that you can listen to my voice now when I say that you are worthy of kindness too. You are worthy of the same level of compassion. So please try and keep that in your mind's eye. So the next invitation is just to check in with yourself at the moment and think about, what do I need most right now? Which part of me, out of my mind, my body, or myself, or my spiritual health, needs nurturing right now? Which feels a little depleted? Which feels a little neglected? And therefore, which one could you focus on right now? Some ideas for your mind. And you might, when you're listening to this, already have ideas that you know that you can put into place that already support you with your mind and your mental health. Some ideas that I wanted to share with you on the screen is perhaps journaling. Journaling, there's no right or wrong way to journal. It's simply picking up a pen and a notepad and just getting your thoughts down on the paper, which gives our thoughts a safe space and can be really, really helpful. You might like to try some short meditations or breathing exercises. And if you want an introduction to that, we do have a video called Relax, Recharge, Rejuvenate, which is a nice introduction to breathing exercises and meditation. There's also lots of really good apps that are free to NHS staff at the moment. Maybe you can think about challenging your unhelpful thoughts, just like we did before. So if you notice that critical voice coming in saying, you know, I haven't got time to self-care, or not right now, or, you know, I'm not important enough, or whatever that is, just notice your thoughts, build awareness, and then challenge them by asking yourself, well, what would I say to a friend right now? Or perhaps you might like to practice gratitude. You know, as you're listening to my voice and you're listening to this presentation today, maybe you can call to your mind's eye just one thing that you can remind yourself of that you're really grateful for right now. Is the thing that you need most right now some care and attention for your body? Does your body and your energy levels feel depleted? Could you just implement some short exercise? Even a short walk and brisk walking for 5 minutes can have a real impact, help us release endorphins and help us feel good. Maybe right now you can nourish your body with some nourishing food, or even do some simple stretching. Or maybe you already have an idea of what you do for your body to look after yourself. Maybe just bring to your mind's eye right now what would be most helpful for you. And then yourself. And when we think about the third part of the triangle, which is ourself, you know, think about activities, hobbies that really light you up, where you feel, you know, you're feeling happy and you bring you lots of joy. Perhaps that's painting or reading or listening to your favourite song whilst you're cooking dinner in the evening. Perhaps it's connecting with others. You know, is there someone that you could really speak to right now and schedule in a virtual call? Or perhaps there's a hobby that you haven't had the opportunity to do. Could you pick that up, even if it's just for 5 minutes? It can make all the difference. So hopefully now you've decided which one is most important for you, whether it's your mind, your body, or an activity for yourself. And often these plans we have can be good, but they can get lost in life and lost in day to day. So I'd love for you to think about this idea of being good to yourself. You know, we spend lots of our time being good to other people. So I would really, really invite you to think about being good to yourself and giving yourself whatever it was you identified that you needed. And when can you do that? So if you're listening to me today and you're not able to put that thing in place, perhaps you can make a plan in your mind's eye for when you do finish work, for when you do get home. Perhaps it's first thing in the morning, you can create an extra 5 minutes to do that meditation or to journal down your thoughts before bed. Think about now when that could happen and schedule it in with yourself. So that was 5 minutes to fill up your cup, and that's all it takes. And I really, really want to leave you with this message that self-care isn't selfish. You know, we need to refuel, we need to refill our own cup so that we can then pour to others. So actually self-care is essential. And now more than ever do we need to look after our own health and well-being. So thank you so much for taking these past couple of minutes to spend time listening to this presentation. I really hope that it's been helpful and you've been able to be reminded of something that's useful for you, or you've been able to take something away. I wanted just to remind you of the service. The staff support and counselling service is a completely confidential service, and we support staff with a variety of issues. So if you're listening to this and you think you could need some support right now, we are offering sessions on an online platform and moving forwards by the telephone. The number you can contact us is on the screen there to speak to a member of the team. So it's 0300 124 0104, or you can email the team on staff support and counselling service at combined.nhs.uk. Okay, hope that's been helpful. Thank you for listening. And myself and the team will see you soon.